Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Alien Protocols. What a staggering year we have had. Starting from January, when we were training really hard and working on CE5 and really deeply working on our psi abilities with our founding group members. And so many of you guys who were there at the very beginning are still here. And you just can't thank you enough for your support, and especially recently had some donations. I can't remember everybody's names, and I don't know if I should mention everybody's names. But it's been about 4 donations, and I just love you guys, and I just can't tell you how much it means. And it's a very selfless act of love in action, and action is what when love really takes off. Anyway, so I wanted to fill you in on some interesting stuff. So I've got a little Christmas or holiday, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa present for you guys. This is a little black book that I put together at the behest of Colonel Alexander. Colonel Alexander had this idea, and I just thought it was brilliant. I can't believe I haven't done this earlier. It's a contact book. You date it, and I put there just because it was from Colonel Alexander's suggestion. And I'm starting to fill out the different stuff from it. And I wanted to fill you in on just the amazing Huntsville trip alone. And maybe we'll have time and we'll go into some of this other just incredible stuff. But first of all, this level of encounters, this level of contact that we have gotten to, it reaches a frenzy, a harmony. You vibrate, and if you're in a pool with a ring and you bounce up and down and you time it right, you can make the entire pool, all the waves jump incredibly high, but you have to add momentum each wave, add a little bit. And there was a time where upstate we really got our CE5 group resonating and went from seeing, green orbs flying through the woods in the very beginning alone, and still saw green orbs here at the end as well too, to working with a group and getting better and improving our abilities and getting objects and things to go from cloud level to much, much lower. And even had we've had encounters and multiple witnesses, and so it's just been amazing. But recently, as you guys remember, had the Huntsville trip and went down there to the lab, and it was just such an amazing, fun trip, and got tested there at the compass and the electrostatic detector and all those goodies. And thankfully, our techniques and our philosophy worked under pressure, because we train with impediments, and that you can't fail as long as you're learning something, and you're going to hit plateaus, and you work together and you break through those plateaus. Anyway, on this Huntsville trip, I went with a scientist. Actually, there was 2 scientists at the very beginning. And before we left, we were in the Bronx getting the truck fixed. And there were, I shouldn't have their names here, probably. 2 scientists. And we saw a craft that looked like this. Kind of like that right there at the top, the black thing, and it rotated as it flew, as if its shape didn't matter if it was aerodynamic or not. Number 2 was the craft right after that lab event that night, coming back with one of the scientists in the right-hand seat, and the craft circled, flashed in the distance and circled us and rode next to us on the right-hand side, 50 yards, 50 feet, insanely close, so close you could just see all the details, and they seared into your mind, and the color of the light was so, and you just knew, you saw this thing, and you're like, this is not from Earth, even if, we have a breakaway civilization that's 75 years ahead. So this has a shape inside that I could draw out better, but just didn't. And then by the time we got back, after everything, we got back to the Bronx, we saw this weird craft in the sky. And it actually flew it looks like it is forward, and then it rotated, and it tilted, and it kind of went into the tilt. It definitely looked really controlled on its own self-controlled motion. Very, very, very highly self-controlled. Very unusual shape. And then after the scientist left, with gyro. We saw that craft, and I got the video of it going around us, basically. It circled us a few times and then zipped away, and it looked like this. From the side and from the I don't really even know what angle it is, but it had these lobes on it, and the black center lobe. And the black center lobe was kind of doing a really weird thing. It's hard to describe, because at one point it wasn't too, as you can see from the video, not too far away, and it descended. And there were the jet fighters, and that was just an amazing sighting. And those were all within a short period of time. And we've spoken about before, the more you work on consciousness, I think the more you tap into this field. And if this is true, then advanced civilizations would know about it. And they are visiting us. And most people in society just, don't really care to look at the real hardcore, indisputable scientific evidence. So, wow, should I get into some of this other crazy stuff? Yeah, buddy, get into this other crazy stuff. It's the holidays. Okay, so at Galileo Park, this very special park, a lot